Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked around at your life and wondered, why don't I feel happier? Maybe you have a job, people who care about you, or goals you're working toward, yet something still feels missing. That quiet feeling of emptiness can be confusing because, from the outside, everything seems normal. But what if happiness isn't disappearing from your life? What if it's simply being buried under habits, expectations, and beliefs that you never chose for yourself? In this episode, we'll explore the hidden reasons so many people struggle to feel truly happy. You'll improve your English by listening to natural, everyday expressions. And at the same time, you'll discover powerful life lessons that can help you see yourself differently. Stay with me until the end because each idea connects to the next, and together they reveal a truth that many people spend years trying to understand. Sometimes the biggest change begins with one simple realization. The problem isn't always your life. Sometimes it's the way you've been taught to live it. And if this lesson gave you something useful, you know what to do. With love. Let's dive in. Why are you living someone else's life? Many people believe they are making their own choices, but if they stop for a moment and think carefully, they discover that many of those choices were influenced by someone else. Society tells us what success should look like. Friends tell us what is normal. Family members often have dreams for us, even when they mean well. Slowly, without realizing it, we begin to build a life based on expectations instead of personal values. This creates an uncomfortable feeling because our actions no longer match who we truly are. When your daily decisions are disconnected from your real interests, happiness becomes difficult to find. One of the most important questions you can ask yourself is not, what do people expect from me? Instead, ask, what kind of life feels meaningful to me? That question can change everything. Real happiness begins when your choices reflect your own values instead of someone else's definition of success. Why do you keep saying yes to everyone? Helping others is a beautiful quality, but constantly saying yes can slowly become a heavy burden. Many people are afraid of disappointing others, so they ignore their own needs again and again. At first, this may seem kind, but over time, it often leads to exhaustion, frustration, and even resentment. The surprising truth is that people-pleasing rarely creates lasting happiness because it depends on receiving approval from others, and approval is something you can never fully control. A healthy relationship includes kindness, but it also includes boundaries. Saying no does not automatically make you selfish. Sometimes it simply means you are protecting your energy, your peace, and your time. When you respect yourself, other people are more likely to respect you as well. The goal is not to stop caring about others. The goal is to stop disappearing while trying to make everyone else comfortable. You deserve the same care that you so willingly give to everyone around you. Why does comfort quietly steal your happiness? Comfort feels safe, and there is nothing wrong with enjoying safety from time to time. The problem begins when comfort becomes your permanent home. Growth almost always asks you to experience uncertainty, learn something new, or risk making mistakes. Many people avoid these moments because they feel uncomfortable, yet every opportunity that could improve their lives remains on the other side of that discomfort. Imagine learning English. If you only study the words you already know, your vocabulary will never grow. Life works the same way. Confidence is not built before you take action. Confidence grows because you take action. Every small challenge teaches your mind that you are stronger than you believed. Staying inside your comfort zone may protect you from temporary failure, but it also protects you from meaningful success. Sometimes the safest choice today becomes the biggest regret tomorrow. Growth begins where comfort ends. Why do impossible expectations make you miserable? Many people believe they will finally be happy when everything becomes perfect. They expect themselves to make no mistakes, reach every goal quickly, and always stay motivated. But perfection is not a destination anyone can reach. It is an illusion that keeps moving farther away. The more impossible your expectations become, the more disappointed you feel with yourself. Instead of celebrating progress, you only notice what is still missing. This creates constant pressure and unnecessary self-doubt. A healthier way to grow is to replace perfection with improvement. Ask yourself, am I becoming a little better than yesterday? That question creates hope instead of pressure. Progress is rarely fast, and it is almost never perfect. Some days will feel easy, while others will feel frustrating. Both are normal. The happiest people are not those who never fail. They are the people who understand that mistakes are part of becoming stronger, wiser, and more confident. Why does success sometimes leave you feeling empty? Many people spend years chasing success because they believe it will automatically bring happiness. They work harder, earn more money, buy nicer things, or collect impressive achievements. Then one day, they reach a goal they once dreamed about, and the happiness disappears much faster than they expected. Why does this happen? Because success and happiness are not the same thing. Success is something you achieve. Happiness is something you experience. If your self-worth depends only on reaching the next goal, your mind will never allow you to enjoy the present moment. It will immediately start searching for another mountain to climb. There is nothing wrong with having ambitions. In fact, dreams give life direction. But your value should never depend on your latest achievement. You are more than your job, your income, or your accomplishments. Real happiness grows when success becomes something you enjoy, not something you need in order to feel worthy. Why do comparisons steal your peace? Comparison is one of the quickest ways to lose joy without realizing it. Every day we see people who seem happier, richer, smarter, more attractive, or more successful than we are. The problem is that we compare our real lives with someone else's carefully chosen highlights. We rarely see their struggles, fears, mistakes, or lonely moments. As a result, comparison creates an unfair competition that nobody can truly win. Even if you become more successful than one person, there will always be someone else who appears to have more. This endless cycle keeps your attention focused on what you lack instead of what you already have. A better question is not, why am I behind someone else? Instead, ask yourself, am I becoming a better version of myself? Growth is personal. Your journey is different from everyone else's. The moment you stop measuring your life against others is often the moment you finally begin to enjoy your own. Why don't you know what truly matters to you? Many people spend years building a life before asking themselves one simple question: what really matters to me? Without a clear answer, it becomes easy to follow the crowd. You accept goals that belong to someone else. You chase lifestyles that look impressive but feel empty. You say yes to opportunities that do not match your values. Eventually, you may wake up feeling successful on paper but deeply disconnected inside. Knowing your values gives your life direction. Your values act like a compass, helping you decide where to spend your time, energy, and attention. They remind you what deserves a yes and what deserves a no. When your actions match your values, life begins to feel more meaningful, even during difficult times. You do not need to copy another person's definition of happiness. The happiest life is often the one that honestly reflects who you are instead of who everyone else expects you to become. Hey you, you're still here, and that really means a lot to me. If you're listening at this point, you're not just a viewer. You're truly part of this community, and I honestly want to thank you for spending your time with me. Tell me in the comments, where are you from, and what's one thing you're working on becoming? A better English speaker, more confident, calmer, healthier? I'd love to know. With love, let's dive in again. Why can't other people make you happy forever? Relationships are one of the greatest gifts in life, but they were never meant to carry the full responsibility for your happiness. Many people believe that finding the perfect partner, the perfect friend, or the perfect family will finally complete them. This expectation creates emotional dependence because your happiness rises and falls with someone else's behavior. Healthy relationships certainly add joy to life, but they cannot replace self-respect, purpose, or inner peace. Imagine trying to fill an empty cup using another empty cup. Neither one becomes full. Lasting happiness begins when you learn to care for your own emotional well-being first. That does not mean becoming selfish or pushing people away. It means developing a strong relationship with yourself so that love becomes something you share instead of something you desperately need. The healthiest relationships are built by two whole people, not by two people searching for someone else to complete them. Why do small daily habits create lasting happiness? People often wait for one big moment to change everything. They believe happiness will arrive after a promotion, a vacation, a new relationship, or another major achievement. But lasting happiness is usually built much more quietly. It grows through small daily habits that seem almost unimportant at first. Getting enough sleep, moving your body, practicing gratitude, learning something new, spending time with people who lift you up, and allowing yourself moments of peace. These simple actions slowly shape the quality of your life. Tiny choices repeated every day become powerful over time. The same principle applies to learning English. You become fluent through consistent practice, not through one perfect lesson. Happiness works in exactly the same way. It is not something you find one day. It is something you create little by little through the way you choose to live each ordinary day. Small habits may seem invisible today, but their results become impossible to ignore tomorrow. Why do your doubts always sound more believable than your dreams? Your mind has an interesting habit. It often remembers criticism longer than compliments. One mistake can stay in your thoughts for weeks, while 10 successes quickly disappear from your memory. Because of this, self-doubt can begin to sound like the truth. You may hear a quiet voice saying, "You're not good enough," "You're too late," or "You'll probably fail anyway." The problem is not that these thoughts appear. Every human being experiences them. The real danger comes when you believe them without questioning them. Thoughts are not facts. They are simply mental events that come and go. Confidence does not mean never having doubts. It means choosing not to let those doubts make your decisions. Every time you take action despite feeling uncertain, you prove to yourself that fear does not have to control your life. Your future is shaped far more by the actions you take than by the fears you feel. Why is gratitude more powerful than getting more? Many people believe they need more before they can feel grateful. They think they need more money, more success, more friends, or more opportunities. But gratitude works in the opposite direction. It begins with appreciating what already exists, and that simple shift changes the way you experience life. Gratitude does not mean pretending that everything is perfect. It means refusing to ignore the good while working through the difficult. When your attention is always focused on what is missing, satisfaction becomes impossible because there will always be something else to want. But when you notice your progress, your health, your abilities, your relationships, or even the chance to learn something new today, your perspective begins to change. Gratitude trains your mind to recognize abundance instead of constant lack. Ironically, the people who appreciate what they already have often feel richer than those who spend their entire lives chasing the next thing. Why should you define success for yourself? Success means different things to different people, yet many of us spend years chasing someone else's definition. Society often measures success through money, status, expensive possessions, or impressive job titles. While there is nothing wrong with these achievements, they should never become the only measure of a meaningful life. Imagine reaching every goal that other people admire, only to realize that none of them truly mattered to you. That is a painful kind of success because it leaves your heart empty while your life looks impressive from the outside. Instead, ask yourself a different question. What kind of person do you want to become? Perhaps success means having peace of mind, strong relationships, good health, meaningful work, or the freedom to spend time with people you love. When you create your own definition of success, you stop running someone else's race and finally begin walking your own path with confidence. How can you become happier one day at a time? Real happiness rarely arrives all at once. It grows quietly through hundreds of small decisions that seem ordinary at first. Choosing to speak kindly to yourself, taking care of your health, learning a new skill, setting healthy boundaries, forgiving yourself after mistakes, and making time for people who truly matter. These simple actions slowly shape your emotional well-being. Many people underestimate the power of consistency because small improvements are almost invisible in the beginning. But just like learning English, every day of practice builds upon the last one. Eventually, the difference becomes impossible to ignore. You do not need to transform your entire life tonight. You only need to make one better choice today, then another tomorrow. Happiness is not something waiting for you somewhere in the future. It is something you gradually create through the way you think, the habits you build, and the choices you make every single day. What happens when you finally choose yourself? The greatest change in your life may not come from earning more, owning more, or becoming more successful. It may come from finally deciding to live in a way that reflects your true values instead of other people's expectations. When you stop comparing yourself to everyone else, stop waiting for perfect conditions, stop trying to please every person you meet, and stop believing that happiness must come from outside of you, something remarkable begins to happen. You feel lighter. You become calmer. Your confidence grows because it is no longer controlled by approval or perfection. This does not mean life suddenly becomes easy. Challenges will still appear, and difficult days will still come, but you will face them with a stronger mind and a clearer purpose. Remember, Happiness is not a reward that someone else gives you. It is a relationship you build with yourself, one thoughtful choice at a time. And perhaps that relationship is the most important one you will ever have. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss the next lesson. Your support means so much. It keeps this space alive and growing. With love. Thank you for being here, and I can't wait to continue this journey with you.